Welcome, I'm Catherine Hadro, and this is EWTN Pro-Life Weekly. 2020 vision, are pro-lifers welcome in the Democratic Party? Catholic Congressman and pro-life Democrat Representative Dan Lipinski gives his take. Capitol Hill witness, a Catholic law professor provides a bold pro-life testimony at a recent House hearing. She'll tell us more. And babies and dreams. Former top model turned Catholic speaker Leah Darrow tells us the message behind her new online initiative. Our top story: as voting begins in the Democratic primary, the Democratic presidential candidates are sending mixed messages on whether pro-lifers are welcome in the party. Every single Democratic presidential candidate holds extreme abortion views. They only differ on what they say to potential pro-life voters. During a Fox News town hall last month, former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg told the head of Democrats for Life he would refuse to amend the party platform to include pro-life Democrats. At a pro-abortion forum earlier this month, independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders said, quote, "Being pro-choice is an absolutely essential part of being a Democrat." Meanwhile, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, another Democratic presidential candidate, struck a different tone this month when she told ABC's The View there should be room for pro-life voters. To discuss the Democratic Party's relationship with pro-lifers, we are joined now via Skype by Representative Dan Lipinski of Illinois. Congressman Lipinski is Catholic, a pro-life Democrat, and co-chair of the Congressional Pro-Life Caucus. Welcome back to the show. When discussing pro-life Democrats, Congressman, you are the one who consistently comes to mind. Can you tell us what is it like to be a pro-life Democrat in Congress right now?
Well, over the years, it's gotten more and more difficult, but I'd say that over the last year or two, it has gotten incredibly hard. There are forces that want to push, if you see the president's candidates, most of them do not want to accept pro-life Democrats. And I keep saying it makes no sense for the party to push out 1/3 of their voters. 1/3 of Democrats say that they are pro-life. However, it is so hard now to get to a Democratic primary if you're pro-life, and that is why we see so few members of Congress now, Democratic members, who are pro-life.
Congressman, do you encounter pushback from the national party because of your pro-life position?
The party itself is not the issue. The issue is the outside. It's the Planned Parenthood, Emily's List, NARA. They spent $1.6 million at least against me last time that was correct. And I've heard that Emily's List is putting in $900,000 in TV ads against me in the last 4 weeks. NARA has put in over $200,000 already. Mail is starting to hit against me, all because I'm pro-life.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, a Democratic presidential candidate, recently made comments on ABC's The View about pro-life Democrats. Let's take a listen.
I am strongly pro-choice. I have always been pro-choice, but I believe we're a big tent party, and there are pro-life Democrats, and they are part of our party, and I think we need to build a big tent.
Congressman, as the leading pro-life Democrat voice, what's your reaction to these comments?
Well, Amy Klobuchar is right. We do need a big tent. But look, the pro-choice group, they do not want to have any pro-life Democratic elected officials. They have shown very clearly they do not want. Why? Because they know that we are the biggest threat to them. And so they are putting in the resources to defeat pro-life Democrats. The problem is, on the pro-life side, pro-life Democrats are not receiving the same type of support. Now, I was just endorsed by National Right to Life, which I appreciate, but there's nowhere near the effort that's being put in by the group. And the other issue is that I believe if we want to have a pro-life movement in this country, have any possibility of having success, we need to have pro-life movement to both parties. And the only way to do that is for pro-life voters to vote in Democratic primaries and vote for pro-life Democrats. Not say, well, the Democratic Party is worthless, we need to abandon it. You need to vote in those primaries to elect pro-life Democrats. As I said, the other side knows how important it is. They're showing how important it is to push those pro-life Democrats, such as myself, out. And, I'd like to see the same effort on the pro-life side.
Congressman, what are concrete ways the Democratic Party can be inclusive to pro-life voters? What would you like to see?
Well, the presidential candidates, most of them saying that they're not open to pro-life voters is a problem to begin with. But the other issues are, look, there are people that we need. It's hard for me, pro-life elected officials, because of the real power of the so-called pro-choice group. They are afraid to come out and say that they support a pro-life Democrat. I think that's why the president's candidates have done this. They're afraid that they're going to get money. And we need to see more Democrats step up and be willing to say, look, I'm not asking people to, I'm not asking to change the party platform. I'd love to see it. But right now, what I'm simply asking is accept pro-life Democrats.
Well, we are grateful for your pro-life leadership. Representative Dan Lipinski of Illinois, thank you.
Thank you.
And joining us now is Mallory Quigley, Vice President of Communications for the Susan B. Anthony List. First off, Mallory, what should our viewers know about Congressman Lipinski's pro-life leadership?
Yes, well, I mean, he absolutely is a leader. He's not just only a pro-life vote. He has championed this issue much to his political peril as he's faced criticism from within his own party. Congressman Lipinski was the only pro-life Democrat to stand his ground 10 years ago now during the debate over Obamacare. And he stood firm and said this legislation will allow taxpayer funding of abortion, even after Congressman Bart Stupak, who was championing that cause at the time, and others caved. Congressman Lipinski stood strong, and he's faced much criticism. And even now, those pro-life Democrats who caved, in hindsight, they've said, yes, we were wrong. But Congressman Lipinski, he remains.
What's the makeup of pro-life Democrats in Congress today, and how does this compare to years past?
Yes, well, there used to be dozens in years past. I mean, even back to 2010, during the fight over Obamacare, there was more than a dozen pro-life Democrats who were making up this core coalition. They call them the Stupak Coalition, which was really responsible for delaying the vote while we debated the issue of taxpayer funding of abortion. And now we've got, Congressman Lipinski, Congressman Peterson. There's a limited number now, and he is facing a very tough primary this coming March.
As we discussed with the Congressman, Senator Klobuchar says she wants to welcome pro-lifers into the Democratic Party. Is this just empty talk?
Yeah, I heard that. I think that if Senator Klobuchar is going to be honest with herself and she really means that, then she ought to start by supporting popular common sense legislation. Next week, we're going to have the opportunity in the Senate. There's going to be votes on the 5-month abortion ban and the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. So can you support Senator Klobuchar stopping the abortion of babies after 5 months when research shows they can feel excruciating pain from abortion, and get the United States off the list of only 7 countries in the whole world to allow abortions after this point? And if you can't do that, how about protecting babies when they've been born alive? 70% of Democrats, Catherine, support that legislation. So that's really something that is catering to her base, 70% support, and welcoming that 30% who strongly identify as pro-life within the Democratic Party. I think there are concrete ways that she could back that up. I welcome the statement, but it should be backed up with action.
And to what you mentioned, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has called for a vote on both the pain-capable bill and the Born Alive bill. We're expecting that next week. Are we expecting any Democratic support for these bills.
Right. Well, there have been votes on this, both of these pieces of legislation in the past. And in the past, the pain-capable bill has been supported by Senator Manchin, West Virginia, Senator Casey, Pennsylvania. And I think on the Born Alive legislation, we will pick up a vote from Senator Jones of Alabama, perhaps, although he did say this week to a constituent that who was asking him about the 5-month abortion ban, he called it a stupid question. He was laughing. The animosity that is shown towards pro-life issues by the Democratic Party is just so evident.
And like you said, common sense bills.
Yes.
We're grateful for you being here, Mallory Quigley, with the Susan B. Anthony list. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell recently scheduled a back-to-back vote on 2 important pro-life bills, the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act and the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. The stage is now set for the Senate to vote on these bills later this month. Here's what these 2 bills call for. The Born Alive bill requires a child who survives a botched abortion receives appropriate medical care. The Pain-Capable bill would ban abortion after 5 months of pregnancy. That's when science indicates an unborn child can feel pain. Both are common sense bills to protect the most vulnerable among us. Now, our elected lawmakers have the chance to make these bills law, and we need to send a message for this week's call to action. Go to ProLifeWeekly.com to tell your senator to vote yes on both the Pain-Capable bill and the Born Alive bill. Once you get to this website, we will connect you with your senator to directly send this pro-life message. Both the Pain-Capable bill and the Born Alive bill are common sense laws. Contact your senator at ProLifeWeekly.com. As Democrats in the House of Representatives attempted to advance a pro-abortion bill last week, one Catholic professor gave a powerful pro-life counter-witness. A House subcommittee held a hearing last week on the, quote, Women's Health Protection Act of 2019. Pro-life leaders warned this bill would radically expand abortion on demand through birth and force the taxpayer funding of abortion. It would sweep away limits on late-term abortion, safety standards at abortion facilities, informed consent, and conscience protections. While a majority of the witnesses were pro-abortion advocates, one witness was Catholic law professor Teresa Stanton Collett of the University of St. Thomas School of Law. Take a listen to part of Collett's pro-life testimony on Capitol Hill when she debunked the myth that women need abortion to succeed.
The simple fact is there is no correlation between access to abortion and women's participation in the economic and social life of this country. To the extent that there is any correlation, it appears to be a negative correlation. But women are succeeding in this society while abortion rates are falling rapidly.
And joining us now from Minneapolis, Minnesota is Teresa Stanton Collett herself. Teresa serves as director of the Pro-Life Center at the University of St. Thomas's School of Law and was previously appointed to the Pontifical Council for the Family by Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. Teresa, welcome to the show. I do not imagine it was easy to be the pro-life voice at a pro-abortion hearing. What was the main message you wanted to get across to lawmakers?
Well, Catherine, I think the main message I wanted to get across is that abortion actually may be an impediment to women's success in society, and we certainly don't know about the safety of it, notwithstanding the sort of perpetuation of that myth that abortion is the safest surgical procedure that we have in this country. The reason that people say that is because the only data we have is from the abortion industry itself. And as I told Representative Burgess, the minority chair of the committee, it's like trying to regulate tobacco in the same way that we would rely on the Tobacco Research Institute. When you only have the industry's data, you have no idea how safe it is.
Teresa, the hearing was on the Women's Health Protection Act of 2019, which sounds like a positive piece of legislation women should support, but you say it is deceptively named. What should our viewers know about this bill?
The fact is that there are some serious negative correlations with abortion's availability. While the American Psychological Association has suggested that to the extent women have any post-abortion trauma, it's because of pre-existing mental weaknesses, the data we have from Western Europe, where they have a comprehensive health system and more comprehensive records, show that in fact post-abortion stress syndrome is real. There is a trauma that happens to women. The other thing is, even the World Health Organization has recognized that aborting your first pregnancy increases the possibility of breast cancer. So many of the things that the pro-life organization has been saying for decades have been ignored because in this country, again, the only data we have is coming from the abortion industry itself. It is not the Women's Health Protection Act. In fact, it is an act that undermines the health of women and certainly will lead to increasing abortion rates for the unborn children.
There was one exchange during the hearing that picked up some headlines when Democrat Representative G.K. Butterfield of North Carolina pressed you on your personal views on contraception. What did you make of that moment?
Well, because my resume shows both that I'm at a Catholic university and that I've been active in the church's development of its current teachings on things, I was fairly confident when he didn't accept the answer of the legal status of contraception in this country, that what he was trying to do in reality was to sort of impugn my ability to testify objectively because I'm a Catholic, and I just wasn't going to have any of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are grateful for your testimony there. And finally, Teresa, while we have you, you also made the powerful point in your testimony that eliminating abortion restrictions would endanger women and girls when it comes to sex trafficking. Can you explain that?
Sure. One of the ways we detect sex trafficking is when health providers actually report that the abortion appears not to be fully voluntary, that there's some coercion going on, or when the woman herself discloses that she's subject to the threat of violence. With these sort of reporting requirements, which have been attacked regularly by the abortion industry in other contexts, particularly involving underage girls, if those are swept away by this bill, then in fact what will happen is we will lose a valuable tool in detecting whether or not sex trafficking has happened. The most recent study we have on this shows that most victims have on average 3 abortions during their period in the trade. That sort of information can be extremely valuable in detecting who the victims are, who the perpetrators of those crimes are, and shutting those sex trafficking rings down. And yet this bill would largely eliminate that.
Thank you for bringing that truth to light. Teresa Stanton Collett of the University of St. Thomas School of Law, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Coming up, you can call this pro-life message a labor of love. Former model turned Catholic speaker Leah Darrow joins us to discuss how she's empowering women to go after their dreams and to say yes to life. Welcome back to EWTN Pro-Life Weekly. I'm Catherine Hadro. InStyle Magazine raves about a group of pro-abortion female lawyers in a recent profile piece. That is this week's Speak Out segment. The InStyle article is titled, "Meet the Lawyers Fighting for Abortion Rights All the Way Up to the Supreme Court." It glamorizes 5 lawyers with the Reproductive Freedom Project over at the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, which is a pro-abortion law firm. InStyle showcased 5 female lawyers who recently lost a case over a Kentucky pro-life law. The article praised their pro-abortion work over long nights and weekends. The writer behind the article tweeted that the lawyers are, quote, incredible, and she is, quote, honored to shine a light on them. It is telling a celebrity style site chose to spotlight these lawyers who failed their case instead of someone like Louisiana State Senator Katrina Jackson, for example. She is the pro-life Democrat who authored her state's pro-life law, the very law that actually is making its way to the Supreme Court next month. Jackson has to stand up to her own party in defense of the unborn, while these ACLU lawyers have the backing of the entire abortion industry and much of the media as well. There is nothing glamorous about abortion, and all the glossy magazines in the world can't change that. When actress Actress Michelle Williams won a Golden Globe last month. She credited her success in part to a past abortion. Immediately, pro-lifers responded to the speech, but for this week's Pro-Life Focus, we're highlighting one response in particular that was truly a labor of love.
This obviously is not what I planned on doing or saying, but it was on my heart, so I'm going to say it, especially in light of what Michelle Williams said at the Golden Globes. I am here getting ready to deliver my 5th baby, and I want to let all you women know, all you young ladies who haven't had babies or maybe listening to what the culture says about birth and women and babies and choice, babies don't keep us from our dreams. I'm getting ready to deliver a baby that will not keep me from my professional growth, but will make me better because of it. And I'm so honored and excited, and I can't wait to have this baby.
That is former model turned Catholic speaker Leah Darrow, who posted this powerful message on her Instagram account during her early stages of labor for her 5th baby, not long after Williams' pro-abortion speech. Her response to Williams was a simple one. Babies don't keep you from your dreams, they make lives better. And joining us now via Skype from St. Louis, Missouri is Leah Darrow herself, who in addition to being a Catholic author and speaker is also the founder of Lux University, an online Catholic formation program for women. Leah, first off, congratulations on the birth of your 5th baby, your son Valor, who's also joining us here. I am blown away. You shared this beautiful message while you were in the early stages of labor. How and when did it occur to you to hit record on your phone and share this truth from the hospital?
I can only credit, honestly, the Holy Spirit. It was on my mind when I saw the Golden Globes and Michelle Williams, and obviously her words hurt. I think all of our hearts. I hurt for her that she felt and believed the lie that this choice of abortion is what helped her achieve dreams. And it doesn't. It hurts us. And the bottom line is that if we have to take life to achieve our dreams, they're the wrong dreams.
Yeah. Leah, after you posted this video and your son was born, you invited women online to share their babies and dreams story. It garnered hundreds and hundreds of responses. Leah, can you tell us, how has being a mom to 5 babies helped you to enrich your dreams?
They are my dream. Bottom line, that's the point, is that no baby keeps you from what the Lord has planned for you. And sure, plenty of my children have rearranged my dreams, and they've helped me with my priorities to put people over things. But that's the whole point, is that children, life itself is not a hindrance to what the Lord has in store for us.
Amen. Leah, this week you announced a new initiative called Life Actually Is. Tell us about it and your vision for this social media movement.
Absolutely. So unfortunately on social media, there is a campaign, a pro-abortion campaign that says abortion actually, and they have the audacity to say that abortion is power, abortion is healing, abortion is respect, love, compassion, you name it, all of these lies. And they're spinning this lie to young women everywhere. And so I want to not just say that abortion is actually killing life, but what is the benefit of life? And so life actually is healing. Life actually is love. And so we're responding to that abortion initiative with what life is. And so we're asking all people to use the hashtag Life Actually Is, and then to share your story of life, however the Lord has brought life into your life, babies into your life, and to respond and show truth to women so that they know that life is worth it.
That is beautiful. And finally, Leah, you posted your video in response, as we mentioned, to Michelle Williams' Golden Globe speech, when the actress essentially claimed she would not have received that award if she had not gotten her past abortion. Leah, what do you want to say to a woman who might be watching, who might believe that same lie?
Plain and simple, it's just a line. If we have to take life, our dreams are not in the right priorities of it. And that's impossible. I don't know why we can't all get behind the fact that we shouldn't kill children. We just shouldn't kill babies. I think that's the bottom line. There's a lot of reasons, biological, theological, of why you should be pro-life. But the bottom is, I just don't think that we should have to kill people to make our lives better.
That is such a powerful point, Leah. Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to joining us today and for welcoming our viewers to Valor for his first TV interview. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
God bless. Thank you, Leah. Well, that does it for this edition of EWTN Pro-Life Weekly. We would love to hear your thoughts on our show's new look. What do you think? Let's connect online. Find us on social media at EWTN Pro-Life, and you can always send us an email at prolifeweekly@ewtn.com. Until next week, remember, life is a gift. Your life is a gift. God bless.